What up, fight fans all around the world? You're welcome to the Big Man Boxing Podcast, and I am Chris the Big Man. An article just came to my attention from the BBC Sports, and it's titled Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Deontay Wilder are risking me getting better. It was published on the 6th of May today, and this is something that I've talked about so many times in the past. You see, it's so frustrating with how things are playing out in the division because everyone is playing the waiting game. No one wants to step into the ring with this man now. Either they're waiting for him to lose or they're waiting for him to have a bad performance so they can use that against him on the bargaining table, which is so I don't know how to describe people who think that way. People who are not actually thinking about winning the fight. They're thinking about getting more money from this man. That is not what boxing fans should care about. I don't care about what comes into your pocket. All I care about is if you're improving in how much you're getting paid. If your last fight you earned $5 million and you earn $10 million in this fight, that's all I care about. An incremental increase or improvement in your earning power. I'm not here to look at if you're earning more than Joshua or if you're getting 50-50 with Joshua. And these guys seem to be playing the waiting game. People like Dylan White, people like Luis Ortiz, people like Tyson Fury, people like Deontay Wilder. And in this article, Joshua talks about how he's improving. And there's a quote here saying, "I've got through with strength, guts and heart." Joshua, "I've got away with mistakes. I realized I couldn't continue my journey like that. For the last 2 years, hand on heart with my team, we spent so much time doing things outside of boxing, things that can drain me. How do we now train smart to become smarter in the ring? Less quantity, more quality. It didn't happen overnight. It has taken 2 years to implement it. And this is the first camp we are really seeing it. Look at my last fight against Alexander Povetkin. I was ill, tired, I had a flu, had a headache, I was going through changes. It will be interesting as this is the first time I can express these things. The longer Wilder and Fury leave it, the tougher it will be for them, as I am not the fighter of 2 years ago. Give me another year or two and I'll develop that little bit more." Oh my god. If you doubt what this man says, go rewatch the fight against Povetkin. Go rewatch that fight and tell me if that's the same fighter who faced Klitschko. Tell me if that's the same fighter who faced Taka. You realize this man is getting better. I noticed a change in Joshua's approach to his life in the ring and life outside of the ring, with how he has remained in shape leading up to a fight and on his break. Before then, you would see Joshua coming to fight, trying to get fit and trying to lose weight. For example, his fight against Klitschko, he came into the fight camp heavy, and a major part of training camp was trying to get that weight down. Same thing with the Takam fight. But he gave a reason for the Takam situation. He said that he was preparing for a fighter like Pulev by having a different body structure, and with the change of opponent that changed things up. But go look at his social media, look at his lifestyle. Joshua has been living a very healthy lifestyle of late. He's been eating a lot of fruits. Miller tried to use that against him as something, trying to discredit him as someone who is soft. by seeing him as someone who eats fruit. Joshua has been living a very healthy lifestyle, and in that addition to that, he has been trying to improve his tools. He has been trying to add more variety to his tools in the ring, and that was we got a glimpse of that against Povetkin. But there's even much more to come from this man, and like he said, these guys playing the waiting game, they have no idea what they'll be stepping into the ring in when they finally grow the balls and the courage to face Joshua. They won't be facing a Joshua who was in the ring against Klitschko. No, that's not a Joshua they'll be stepping into the ring against. They'll be stepping into the ring against a very all-round fighter. So the earlier these guys decide to accept this fight, the better it will be for them in that ring. Because when that time comes, they'll be facing a Joshua who can go 12 rounds. They'll be facing a Joshua who is a complete fighter, fighting forward and backward. A Joshua who can box based on just skill. A Joshua who can brawl. A Joshua who can be the destroyer. Everything they will bring against him, he'll be able to make adjustments to it and come out victorious. So, whatever these guys have in mind, whatever Shelley Winkle, whatever Al Heyman, whatever Deontay Wilder has underneath his sleeves as a plan for playing this waiting game, whatever is the reason why he and his team are postponing having the unification that they have always spoken about. Remember, one name, one face, one champion. They've always spoken about this. That same unification that they spoke about as wanting so badly. Whatever has made them change their mind, whether it is to take Wilder back to the basics and teach him how to box again, whether it's to help Wilder gain weight and muscle to become heavier, whatever it is these guys need the time to do, it's not going to work for them. Whether it's to wait till Joshua loses or has a bad performance, whatever it is, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Joshua is not just slouching on the couch eating potatoes and chips, or whatever they call it. He's not just slouching there, remaining stagnant. He's getting better. Do you understand that? He's getting better. Same thing applies to Dillian Whyte. Yeah, I agree. Ever since Dillian Whyte lost to Joshua, he has improved. He has gotten better in terms of his reputation with the fans. He has gotten better in terms of the wins he has collated in his last 3, 4, 5 fights. That is improvement. But if he thinks with the confidence he has gained, he's coming into the fight against Joshua feeling like he has a better chance of winning, he's on a long thing, because the Joshua that defeated him 3 years ago, if I'm right, it's not the same Joshua he will step into the ring against. He will be stepping into the ring against a far better man. The version of Joshua that defeated him is not what he will be facing. So no matter how much improvement he has made, by the time Dillian Whyte steps into the ring with Joshua, he's gonna get the reality check of his life. And what's the reality check? That sometimes you just have to accept that you're not good enough. You're good, you're great, but there's always gonna be someone out there who is better than you. And the only chance Dillian Whyte has in defeating Joshua is if Joshua gets emotional in the ring, like he did in their last fight, and begins to brawl with him. That's the shot Dillian Whyte has. Because when it comes to cardio, Dillian Whyte's cardio has really seemed to go very bad. He has gotten worse for it. His fight against Parker, he was out on his feet, and it just took will and resilience and determination and heart for him to keep himself in that fight. His fight against Chisora, he was so inactive in many of those rounds. He was just trying to conserve his energy, waiting for that opportunity to land that vicious left hook that he has, and I give him respect for that. But when he steps into the ring with Joshua, a Joshua who can easily go 12 rounds, a Joshua who has improved on his technique, a Joshua who is a better boxer, an all-round better fighter. When he steps into that ring with Joshua, we get a reality check. Same thing applies to Fury. Fury, yes, is a boxer. He's a very skilled boxer. Very skilled boxer. But I've seen training of Fury and his head movements and how he practices avoiding getting hit. And when I see those clips on Instagram, I laugh because while Fury is moving all that head, his body is easy targets all day, rent free. So if Fury thinks his defense, his head movement, that he was able to escape getting hit with against Wilder, if he thinks he's going to bring that tactic against Joshua, many people don't realize how good Joshua is. Many people don't. And I'm very confident in the fight against Joshua that Fury will just be there to make Joshua look bad. He wouldn't be there to knock out Joshua. He wouldn't be trying to knock out Joshua. He would be trying to be so defensive, trying to get Joshua frustrated so he can get out of his elements and Fury can take advantage of it. And I know that's boxing. Everybody comes to the strategy. But when he steps into the ring with Joshua, yeah, he was able to escape getting finished against Wilder. But against Joshua, different ball game. Different ball game. Different ball game, I repeat. All these tall guys, these 6'7", 6'8" guys, one thing they don't realize, that a lot of them don't pay attention to, is that Joshua does better against taller fighters. Joshua does better against taller fighters. And it's simple as that. Joshua prefers to step into the ring against the taller guys than against the short guys. So at the end of the day, this waiting game ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. You can wait and wait for all I care. Especially to Wilder. Wilder's right hand is a ticking clock. Doesn't have much time left on that hand. Every time he lands that right hand on the stone skull of the human head, it's just one crack away from being demobilized. It's just one crack away from being decommissioned. His right hand has an expiry date, and I see it being decommissioned in the next 2 to 5 years. So no matter how long he waits, 2020, when that day comes, it better come before he loses use of that right hand. Because if all you have against Joshua is a right hand, if all you have against Joshua is a right hand, then you don't know what you're doing in this game. I used to think the only way Wilder could defeat Joshua, and was a very reasonable and legitimate reason, was because Joshua was not built for 12 rounds. Based on how quickly Joshua had risen up through the ranks, knocking out opponents, not going 12 rounds, and struggling and getting tired as the fight got into the 8th, 9th, 10th round. I used to think that was how Wilder could defeat Joshua. Joshua would have a higher chance of knocking him out in the first 5 rounds, and then Wilder could pick up from there because Wilder doesn't get tired. But after seeing Wilder get so tired against Fury, as the fight got past the 6th, 7th, 8th round, and after seeing how well Joshua fights into the 12th round, I realized that it's gonna be a different story when Wilder steps into the ring with Joshua. If it goes 12 rounds, Joshua is outboxing him. If it comes to close quarters, close proximity for them to trade punches, Joshua is a far better combination puncher. The only shot Wilder has against Joshua is if Joshua is just standing there straight in front of him and he can land that straight right hand or land a punch behind the head. That's the shot Wilder has. If Joshua gets lazy and complacent like he did against Klitschko, and Wilder is able to land on a Joshua that is not moving or protecting himself, that is how Wilder can knock him out. But other than that, I don't see Wilder winning that fight. I don't see Wilder winning a 12-round decision. And I don't see Wilder winning an exchange between both of them. That's it, and that's that, people. The longer these guys wait, the longer these cowards, as I call them, because they're not showing us in any way that they're willing to step into the ring with this man. The longer these guys wait, the more worse it's going to be for them. Wilder, for one, is willing to earn 5-6 million and risk losing his belt against Fury, but is unwilling to get 40 to 50 million for one fight against Joshua. He's unwilling to sign a contract that will give him a shot 2 times at Joshua. 1, to win all the belts. 2, to regain all the belts if he loses it. But he's unwilling to step into the ring. Let them keep waiting. They can wait all they can. They have all the time in the world, right? This man is getting better. This man is getting better. And there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do. I just wanted to reflect on this, and I hope you guys understand that Joshua has time. But the guys, the top guys in this game, Wilder, Fury, I'm not sure about that. Wilder's right hand has an expiry date. Fury's mental health, and it's sad to say this, has an expiry date. He has already said he has 2 more fights, and I'm imagining one against Wilder for a rematch and the second against Joshua. Other than that, I don't know. I don't understand why these guys refuse to step into the ring with Joshua. I don't. Dillian Whyte could lose his next fight against Rivers. Wilder could lose his next fight against Brazil. I expect Fury to defeat the guy stepping into the ring, I guess. Once again, this is Chris the Big Man, and you're on the Big Man Boxing Podcast. I just had to pour out my thoughts on this situation. Have a good day, people. Stay blessed. I'm on the road today. I've been recording. This is my second free video. This is my 3rd upload today. You have some of those days like that. Anyway, I'm out. Bye.